And I'm hoping that some of these days, one of these days, we will be able to catch up on campus. So just a quick one. I'm going to touch on the code of conduct, allowing people to speak, when they want to raise some issues. The platform has a virtual hand you can raise up, so please, you can make use of that. And you can also please just mute yourself when you're not speaking. This is just to prevent, echo in the room. And we have a culture of respect for everyone. And please, let us try to stick to that. And so today, the agenda for today is as follows. I'm going to be talking a little about student futures. Alistair would come in between to briefly talk about the FTO election. And I'm going to give an update from the last forum. That's for our new members. And then I'm going to highlight, then the highlight of this forum basically, all right, is to be able to talk about the academic issues and the facilities and technical issues that students are, facing. So, permit me once again to introduce to you, especially our new members, the 3 full-time officers who are yet to work in the interest of the students. While we work within different remits, we have collective goals around student engagement, sustainability, and many more. So, why student engagement is very, very important is because there are a lot of resources that is made available to students and they are not aware of them. So, some of these resources may not be available when you're no longer a student. So it's very important you are able to tap into the resources that the university have, available for students. So this is where I say a very big thank you to everyone for putting yourself forward to represent the students. And so if you're yet to join the Facebook group, I would encourage you to join. I share lots of information on there too. And also the SSLC, which is the Student Staff Liaison Committee. I wanted to endeavor to follow up with your program leaders to stay updated with the date for your program. So, while I was a program rep, it was nice to know that my tutors are willing to listen and act on what students are actually saying about their program. Also, it's also worth mentioning that if your name is not shown on the model yet, just let me know. Okay, I cannot raise that up and get to the bottom of that and making sure that your name shows on the model, which is very important. So the school committee, if you've been interested in joining your school LTSEC, which is the Learning, Teaching, Assessment and Student Experience, do let me know and I can put your name forward. In this committee, I'm part of the committee also. You get to be in a meeting with deans of your school, senior management to raise school-related issues and have an understanding of what is going on, behind the scenes. So what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to allow Alistair to briefly talk about the FTO's election.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you very much for that. So every year we elect 3 student officers, the president for societies and community, the co-president for education and employability, and the co-president for sport and well-being. This year, Matthew is kindly here to show us what one of them looks like, but we also have Eloisa and Emily as well, who have been elected for this year. People can run for a maximum of 2 years, and we encourage applications around about this time every year for anybody interested in standing for those positions. If successful, it is a full-time paid job, so you would put your studies on hold for a year, which is surprisingly an easier thing to do than you might realise, and certainly all kind of funding usually gets paused as well from SAS, and it is a paid job for a year, or you can add it on as an extra year if it's your final year of your study. That does include postgraduate as well. Should probably add that. As I say, position is full-time and paid, 36.25 hours per week, and the wage is up there as well. You would start on the 1st of July through to 30th of June. And that's obviously on completion of a successful campaign. You do have to be voted in by your peers, which is all registered Napier students have a vote in the up and coming elections. usually there's a quite a good turnout for these, and you could expect to be against anything from as few as 5 people to maybe as many as 10 people per position. However, it is very much done on your own manifesto, so you can decide what issues are important to students, what you're putting forward, and kind of how hard you want to campaign. There's some dates there as well, but if you are interested, there's more details on napierstudents.com/elections. You can drop me an email and I can provide some guidance, or there's plenty of resources on there for you to check out as well. So if there is anything, you can also stay behind and have a chat with me after the meeting. It's best coming to myself rather than the existing student officers, just because the elections have to be run fairly. So actually, it's ENSA that you want to be contacting, not the elected student officers, or if you're interested in these things. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alistair. The student features are the arms of the university that support students with any employability requirement and resources like career and skill development, placement. And I've been working closely with them. So they're currently having this event called the Student Opportunities Week that started yesterday and will last till the 4th of March. So you can ensure to visit their website on My Futures, which you can find on iNapier on your app and on My Napier on the website. As you can see here, we have the School of Arts and Creative Industry, starting on the 28th. We have School of Engineering, which is within Mekiston campus also, and then we have the School of Computing. So whichever school belongs to you, whichever school you are in, you can also probably endeavor to attend. I mean, I was in one of their sections yesterday, and it was great. We had some couple of employees and employers who kind of talk about how you can get into workplace after studies. So a brief update from the last forum. I've shared this with program reps already. I had an action to speak to the facilities department to make available free sanitary products at locations outside 3 campuses. So I'm basically mentioned on the screen Academic Scotland because there was none there at the time. So thanks to the reps who raised that with me, and I was able to raise that. And then we have that already there. So thank you so much to the reps who made mention of that. And also within the forum also, there were so many actions that the reps had to also take forward. And I was glad that they were able to share with me the feedbacks from the action they've taken forward and how those issues were being resolved also. So I wanted to briefly mention about my blog, which is up now. I've just uploaded my manifesto tracker to keep you all informed, and also I'll be sharing the works that program reps are doing for students with everyone too. So I'll share further links in the next emails I'm going to be sending out to you all. So enough of me talking. The highlight of the day is I want to listen to you, and I might be looking elsewhere. That's me taking notes. Eliza will also be taking some notes. So among what's important to me is to listen to you, act on what you've said, and give you feedback. So is there any issue you would like to raise around academics?
Could I also just make a quick request, which is if you do have an issue, if you could say your name, your year of study, and what course you're on, that would help me an awful lot rather than me chasing you up at the end of your question.
Yeah. That's Livente, if I'm correct. Sorry if I'm not correct.
Yes, that's correct. Hi. So
Okay,
my
yeah.
name is Levente from first year
Levente.
photography.
Okay, great.
And our question would be that we have a history class, and the presentations are not being uploaded to anywhere. I think it's because of copyright issues. And I don't know if there's any solution to this problem, because if someone misses the lecture, obviously they don't have anything to work with, and it's obviously a problem. So
Okay, so what program is that, please?
sorry,
What program is that?
it's photography.
Photography, okay.
Yes, and it's the history 1 module.
Okay, so history model, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the challenge here is that the presentation slides is not on your module.
Yes.
Right? So if anybody misses the lecture, does not have the opportunity to go back to go and see what has happened in the class, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So all our classes are in person.
Oh, in person,
Obviously,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And there are presentations in class, but if
Mm-hmm.
someone misses it, then obviously there's no chance for them to catch up. So yeah.
Okay, okay. And have you tried to raise that with the model leader?
Yes, and when we asked him to upload it to Moodle,
Mm-hmm.
he said it's because of copyright issues and he can't really upload it because he would get in trouble. And also, Moodle doesn't let him do it, I think. So yeah.
Can't upload due to copyright issues. Okay. Now, what I want to understand now is that this slide, was it the lecturer who made the slide or is from a
Yes.
textbook?
No, it's his slides. It's just it includes pictures from other photographers, and I think
Yeah.
that's what causing the issue.
Okay, okay. I think it's some okay, okay. So if you inform the it's something I can raise. Okay. Yes, I am going to raise that. All right. Yes, I'm going to raise that and have a better understanding on why that is, because I think it's worth mentioning that um, I'm trying to canvas for more class recording, in all three campuses. All right. Yeah, it's been a long time campaign anyway. Although we've been able to win in, Enter been able to win in the business school. So the business school kind of record classes at the moment, but other schools have not been able to adopt that, methodology yet. So I'm happy to raise that up, okay, Levente, okay, and I can get back to you on that, okay, because if you
Okay.
raise that with your program, with your module leader, and speaks about copyright issues, then I want to have a better understanding because if it is a note, then I don't think there should be any challenge, uploading those slides on Moodle. So please leave that with me. I'm going to raise that up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Is there anything else you want to raise?
No, that was all really.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've got Ricardo, if I'm correct. So after Ricardo, Kelly, and after Kelly, we go to Nicolo. Yeah, so Ricardo?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Ricardo Leonard, second year energy and environmental engineering. And I have to say, academic-wise, material and organization, it's actually all going pretty well.
Okay.
There haven't been any real complaints from my colleagues. Just one thing, and even though the email has been sent just this morning, some students, they weren't really happy with the mandatory mask, even in classrooms, for the fact that since there's already some social distance taking place and everyone is vaccinated, they were wondering if I don't know honestly what you could do about it, but yeah, they were kind of unhappy with this situation, and also because everything was working fine and distance was maintained and everything. And I even think that most of them said that they all had boosters. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Ricardo. And thanks so much for the feedback around the course material, pretty going well. Happy to hear that, yeah. I'm seeing Alistair's Anne. You want to say something about the mask?
Yeah, I can chime in with regards to that one. Usually, we take our lead from the university, who usually takes their lead from the Scottish Government as to what the guidance is for that. Educational establishments will have specific guidance. So it's something that the university works with the Scottish Government with providing what that guidance looks like. So I'm aware about the kind of masks and there's students as well. You have to look at also the flip side of this. There's a lot of students as well who also feel that they do want people wearing masks and they want to feel safe. So it is trying to strike that balance. It's not an easy thing to do. The one thing I would highlight is that we at ENSA are probably looking at putting out a survey fairly soon, looking at a couple of things actually. Really, the first one is the preference between online and face-to-face learning, because that's a massive divide among students. But what we can look at incorporating is how safe you feel in lecture theatres and what kind of restrictions you feel are useful. And then what we can do is we can feed that back to both the university and Scottish Government like I say, we are, as you kind of pointed out, it's kind of, there's only so much we can really do, but certainly we can gauge what the overall student opinion is and try and get a better idea of what that looks like.
Sounds
Thank you very
good.
much
Yeah,
for that, Alicia.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, he has actually mentioned everything I wanted to actually, say, Ricardo, because this university, get this instruction from the Scottish government, probably until when maybe the Scottish government says no mandatory marks, before the school, we have to go, towards that direction. And there's been part of maybe numbers of, spike in the cases too, among students too recently. Do you understand? So some students could be, skeptical, could be, scared about the whole situation too, but like Aliza said, until when the Scottish government, bring up probably different rule or instruction, before probably that could maybe change, if you get what I mean, Ricardo?
Yeah, of course. No, it's all valid. And I know obviously what the government decides is what the university have to do. It's just some students told me this, so I'm just bringing it forward.
Thank you very much for bringing that forward, Ricardo. And as Alicia has mentioned also, when the survey is out, I'm putting down your name so that I can actually tell you about, I can tell you personally about the survey. So, so you can always allow your colleagues to, fill in the survey so that we can use this data, to inform the Scottish government as to how the students are feeling about this. If you get what I mean, yeah.
Of course, yeah. I'll let them know, and I'm sure they'll be happy to fill in the
Great.
survey.
Are you on the Facebook group?
Sorry?
Are you on the Facebook group chat?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Yeah. So that's why you see my information there. All right, that's fine.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for that, Ricardo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kaylee?
Yeah. I'm Kaylee Spears. I'm a fourth year graphic design student. The biggest issue that I'm bringing today is one that was present during last term as well. We had 2 lecturers start work at the university. One of them started at the beginning of term in September, and one of them came a bit later, I think mid-October. And the main problem that the rest of my class has had is kind of like poor internal communication between the lecturers. We're all kind of split, like the class is kind of split into 3 groups, and each lecturer takes us as like a supervisor. There's been like some mixed feedback and some confusion over what it is we're supposed to be doing each week. Of course, we're working towards our kind of major project, so we need kind of feedback consistently for that. And the biggest problem that's arising this term is the kind of inconsistent feedback that we're getting and the inconsistent quality of the feedback. Some people were getting more than others. Some people were there's a bit confused. We brought it up at the staff student liaison last term, and it's an issue that all of the years in the graphic design course were saying that they were having, and we put it down to just kind of giving them some adjustment time to kind of get used to the course. But it's still an issue that's being brought up now from my year at least.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Kaylee. Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
I would just say I'm not sure if there's much that can be done else.
Okay, I want to understand this properly. Yeah, so these are 2 lecturers who started in September and October. Yeah.
Yes.
And there's been a poor communication among those 2 lecturers.
There's 3 lecturers. Yeah, there's poor communication between like all the lecturers on the course.
All the lecturers on the course, okay?
Yeah, I think it's just taking them a bit of time to get used to the course.
Okay, allowing students to get used to the course, right?
Yeah.
Just bear with me. Okay. So, Kelly, so around the feedbacks, right? Now, if those lecturers are taking you the same course, right? So they kind of split you into different groups. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so different groups under one course, right?
Yes.
And there's no consistency in what is being fed back to the student, right?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, Kelly, because one of the students, some couple of students in curriculum that's kind of raised issues around um, lack of constructive and inconsistent feedbacks. Okay, and it's what I'm kind of flagging up with the DLTA within the university, to look into that and how that can be improved, if you get what I mean. And thank you so much for raising that at the SSLC last term. Okay, so will it be possible to have like a focus group conversation with you and your colleagues to understand how inconsistent these feedbacks are?
Potentially. I would have
Okay.
to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a conversation after this, all right? Okay, so that's because I want to see examples, of what is happening, all right? And then that can prone the university to raise it up with the graphics design, the designer course, okay, and look into it comprehensively and see how that is being done. Because if there's confusion among the lecturers, there's not so much you guys can actually do,
Yeah.
and it could influence your learning experience, if you get what I mean.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so are you happy for us to have this conversation after and see how we can have that focus group?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, thank you very much for that, Kelly.
Cool.
Kelly, is there anything else you want to raise today?
No, that was the only thing.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that, Kelly. I have Nicola, and then I'll go to Lona. Nicola?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Nicola Urbani, and I'm from photography third year. I'm just raising one issue that we have, which is not regarding this semester, but like from a module from the previous one, from which we haven't got like an actual feedback from the lecturer. So we've got our marks. We've got our marks, but we didn't get any like feedback on the work we did. And the module is called Image and Archive.
It's called what?
Image and the Archive.
Image and the Archive, okay.
And yeah, the module leader was Emil. Yeah. So I saw Emil a week ago at university, and he told me that he would have sent by email written feedback about our work, but he hasn't done it yet. So I just wanted to raise this up. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that, Nicolo. So, Nicolo, there's no actual feedbacks, but results are being given. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and that is
Because
image
usually
and archive.
a module leader gives us a mark and
Yeah.
then sends us an email with a written feedback. He hasn't done so. So yeah, that's the issue.
Okay. And have you reached out to this module leader to ask for feedbacks?
I will have to reach out again because like last week I saw him and he said that he would have sent them, but he didn't. So I should reach out again, I think.
Okay. Nicolo, reach out to the module leader.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask him for the feedback, okay, for yourself and for your colleagues. Okay.
Sure.
So peradventure, probably in a week or time or two, if he did not respond, okay, get in touch with me, please.
Okay. Thank you
yes,
very
I'm
much.
happy to raise that up here, please. Okay, please.
Great. Thank you. That's all.
You're welcome, Nicolo. That's no worries. Because you're meant to be having feedback to be able to understand your areas of maybe improvement, what you've done right and what you've done wrong, and see how you can improve moving forward. Yeah. So please do that. Okay. If you didn't get a response, please get in touch with me and I'll be happy to raise that up, please.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Nicolo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lona?
Hi, it's actually a Yona. It looks like an L, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Yona. Yeah, sorry.
I'm a second year graphic design, and I was gonna bring up similar issues that Kaylee brought up earlier,
Oh,
mainly about communication between our module leaders. There's been a lot of like very different teaching styles, and it's very contrasting to the point where it's like we're getting very consistent feedback from one of our module leaders and then barely any feedback from our other in terms of like our work, and it's been quite hard to like navigate because they just don't seem to like communicate with each other in terms of what we're doing.
mm,
Another issue was brought up with the reading in our essay-based module. A couple of our dyslexic people in our year really struggled to grasp the text, and there was a lack of text where it could be like read back to you. And also there was issues with like getting one-on-one feedback with one of our module leaders.
okay.
And then we had lots of feedback one-on-one with our other but the module leader who said we couldn't get individual feedback said it was impossible, but then our other module leaders like did it fine in a couple hours, so it's just been quite confusing.
Mm.
And
Oh,
another issue was brought up about the heating, it being really cold in the design studios, but other than that,
so eating being cold, yeah?
yeah. But I guess it's like because of circulation, you have to keep the windows open. But yeah.
Sorry, what room is that, please? Do you know?
It's just the main graphic design studio. I can't remember what the room is specifically called.
Okay. Main graphic designer studio, okay. Just bear with me. Okay, those are facilities issues here, but let me speak about the academic issues first here. So, to understand the context is that a particular lecturer is giving the feedback and the other lecturer is not giving the feedback, right?
Yeah, so like I had one of my modules yesterday and we got feedback from two different people. It was really helpful and insightful.
Yeah.
And it was in groups, but it was still based individually. But today we hung up all of our work with our other module leader, and we had to basically mark everyone else's work rather than our module leader give us any feedback. And we did the exact same thing last week, so it felt quite repetitive and a bit pointless because we already knew what each other's work was trying to portray.
Yeah. I see. Have you tried to raise it up with the model leader to probably ask for why he or she doesn't give feedbacks?
We brought it up today, but she basically said it was impossible for all of us to get individual feedback. And people who weren't there just wouldn't get any feedback because she gave us like a couple of sentences worth of feedback, and we just kind of had to go off of that. Some people barely got any, some people got more than others. It was like quite inconsistent, like Kaylee was saying.
May I make a suggestion, Matthew, at this
Oh,
point?
yeah. I saw your hand up. Yeah.
No worries. So basically, when you're doing the group with Kaylee, maybe if you reach out to Iona as well and look at getting something together, because this is obviously a theme across multiple years. And then once we've kind of got all the facts together about what that looks like, going to maybe one of the heads of learning and teaching or the dean, and basically saying this module in particular is experiencing a lot of these problems, a lot of students are reporting this. Could you please sort your staff out?
Of course, yeah.
Or arrange a consistency of approach, I suppose is the professional way of putting that. You could also look at including some of the Department of Learning and Teaching as well, just because they are quality or consistency of approach is kind of what they do. So
Mhm.
once you have the facts about that, if people have got a bit of time to feed into that, that might be quite useful. The other thing I was going to mention, the reason my hand is up, is because you mentioned about dyslexic students, something that's quite close to my heart, being dyslexic as well, and trying to take minutes for things is quite difficult. With regards to dyslexic things, I would encourage those students in particular to speak to the student wellbeing team, because they should have reasonable adjustments put in place for any student that experiences dyslexia, with things like read me aloud. It could be color screens, different colored paper, etc. All those things should be adhered to by the lecturers. It's not optional. It's not pick and choose. They need to do it. I think the wellbeing team would get onto the lecturers very quickly if they found out things were not compatible with certain adjustments. They need to be.
Perfect. It was just an issue raised by a couple of people, but
It is an important one, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Luna, I'm going to have that focus group also with you. Okay, if you're happy with that too, please. All right, and with your colleagues. I mean, like Alice they say, I can get the dean of the school involved in this, to look into this properly well, and make necessary, adjustment and support. Okay. Yeah. So I'll get in touch with you. Okay, around the focus group. All right, and then we can take that forward. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
And thank you to Kaylee. She has given us the room number to the designer studio.
B22.
Yeah,
I've got that
yeah,
written down.
B22. Yeah, got that. All right, good, good. David.
Yeah, hi. I'm David. From graphic design, also second year with Iona.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention I agree with everything that Iona said, and one thing that I just wanted to mention also is the workload in comparison to last semester feels like it's like double or tripled.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not only dyslexic students that are struggling, it's also some of the foreign ones. That's also what I wanted to mention. And
sorry, is that moving from second to third year, you were saying there?
No, that's still second year.
Still second
year, okay. Okay.
And yeah, I think Iona mentioned the rest.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I mean, I'm happy to have this focus group with yourself too. Okay, with Luna and other of your colleagues. Okay, so that we can be able to look into this properly well. All right, and get the dean involved. I mean, the dean might not be aware of what is happening. Do you get what I mean? So I'm going to get in touch with you also. Okay, with Luna at the same time. All right, and so that we can be able to organize that focus group. Okay, and then we can then probably look for a way forward. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
All right. Thank you very much for that, David. That's workload. Okay. Anyone else? If Nicolo, is that your previous hand or a new hand?
What was that? Sorry.
I can see your hand up.
No, it was my previous, I think.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm good. No worries.
All right. Anything else again from anyone? I can't see any hand up, nothing in the chat. Okay, so we can then move on to facilities now. So is there any issues you would like to raise around the facilities in Makistan, maybe in your classroom or outside your classroom?
I've already got the one about B22, by the way, so that'll fall.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I flagged that up with facilities. Yeah. yes, that's true. B22. Yeah. I'm going to get in touch. So for that one, I'm going to get in touch with the facility department. Okay, to look into the eating system to get understanding of why that area is cold. Okay, and I'm going to feed you back with the feedback. Eating, yeah, so always cold. Just to untie a little bit of context around that. Florence, before I come to you, Luna.
Yeah, sorry, was that me?
Yeah, that's Luna. So the B22, which is the main graphic designer studio, is it like always cold, or it's kind of maybe it gets hot once in a while and cold once in a while or something? What happens?
I don't know if it's just a problem with like teachers opening windows because of like circulation because of COVID, or if
Okay.
like, the radiators aren't that like good. I'm just like always freezing when I'm in there and like everyone else is, but I don't know if
Okay.
that's because of the windows or because of the radiators. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the windows are open when you're there, right?
Yeah, sometimes, but also sometimes not. It depends on the lectures sometimes, but
Okay. 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 All right. That's no worries. I will raise that up. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Lena. Florence, can see you.
Hi, yeah. This is
Yeah.
for
Hi.
first year music. It's the same issue as the graphic design one actually. So
Hmm.
it's in the music lab, which is B41. We got a heater in there last term, but they've just totally taken it away, and it's freezing. Like even in the classes, we're like wearing jackets in the classroom, and then we have to do a lot of work out with like class time as well. So even in the evenings, it's freezing, and you can't really work in there properly with that.
Oh, really? Wow. So the heater was taken off B41, right?
Yeah, and it's not been put back in this term. And a lot of people have complained about that since.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much for that, for raising that, Florence. I'm going to raise that up with the facilities department. Okay.
Okay,
And
thank
I'll
you.
feedback on that. Alicia, you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry, I'll butt in again, Matthew. It's years of experience and seeing some of the problems raising their head throughout various terms. So I usually pop in at various points. It's just to say that the heating system at Merkston and indeed the other places tends to be on set timers every year. So persuading them can be quite difficult, certainly by the time that we've persuaded them to turn the heating on, is no longer required often. I do think workarounds like heaters for rooms definitely can exist. All heaters to be pat tested, but there's nothing stopping lecturers where it's cold bringing in heaters from within the university. So that's quite an easy workaround, and it's maybe something just to speak to the lecturers about, because sometimes the lecturers are cold too. You know, they're people. So definitely worth having a chat about if there is portable options as a quick and easy workaround for that. But Matthew, if maybe that's something when you raise with the facilities team that you look at is if they're not willing to turn the heating on for the whole of the building, which obviously is a very expensive thing to do as well, that would portable heaters for specific areas be an option for students?
Yeah. I was going to raise that up. I mean, and thank you so much for to Kaylee, who has also put some, bit of context into what's been happening in B22. I mean, she said that has been freezing like since she was in first year, so that's a serious issue. I mean, telling the tutors about it, and they said they were going to, fix it, and that has not been fixed since then. So that's really a very serious one. But I mean, like you suggested, probably it might be costly to turn on the heater for the old campers, but they should ensure to always turn on the heater on when they're going to, classrooms, and yeah. So, Florence, I'm going to raise that up. Okay. So just leave that with me. Okay. I'm going to raise that up as soon as possible today. I'm going to send them an email today. Okay. And hopefully by this week, we should be able to hear back from the facilities team on what's going to, happen around that. Okay. So I have B22 and B41. Good. Anything else around facilities? I can't see. Florence, you're welcome.
Don't think there's any other hands up.
I mean, that's why I am here. So please, any issues like that, just always raise it up with me. But yeah, I'm going to take this forward, like I said. All right, so if there's no other answer, I mean, some other colleagues who weren't able to make it today, some are having classes at the moment, some had to run for an emergency, and they are going to be able to see this recording, and some have actually sent me some couple of feedbacks from their colleagues, people that were not able to make it. So thank you everyone for making this meeting, this forum today, and please endeavor to always get in touch with me at any point in time. Okay, I try my very possible best to reply to emails, most especially from students, within 48 to 72 hours. Okay, so just get in touch with me, around anything you have, suggestions or recommendations. And it's also worth mentioning that I'm kind of gathering some couple of feedbacks for the library services at the moment. So if you've had any experience in the library, any feedback you want to give, you can share that with me, because I'll be speaking to the library management on Thursday, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's on the 17th on Thursday. So I want to raise that up to be able to see what can be done, around improvement in that area. So get in touch with myself, around education, and employability, issues, and with my colleagues. Their emails are on the screen. And if you want to join any sport and societies, you can get in touch with Emily. So once again, thank you so much for volunteering to be a program rep, and hope to catch you guys probably one of these days in the campus. Okay. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.